Like some of the samples he was playing in the rehearsal, it was like,
man.
what is like? He was playing some crazy shit that we never even performed. Like we didn't even rehearse to it, but like he was just like messing around at one point, and it's like, okay, this is like Kanye West. Like you forget sometimes.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Soul Serum podcast. I am your I don't want to talk unless I get commission host, Clay Bonine. I'm joined by my Life Plants the Seed, now we're gonna let it grow, co-host Tanner Mavis. And we are back on the Soul Serum podcast. It is a interview episode again. It is actually episode number 30.
Oh, damn.
Who
We made
would
it.
have thunk it? Before we introduce our guests, I want to remind everybody, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, main page, Soul Serum TV page, follow us on TikTok, join the Discord, run it up on Patreon. We do podcasts every month, behind the scenes videos, merch deals. If you really fuck with us and you're a Soul Serum soldier, join the Patreon, pay $5 a month. That's as much as a coffee. You just take one of your coffees that you get and put it towards us.
Yes.
And that's really all I have to say. I want to keep that short because today on the show, we have a wonderful guest. He has been rocking in the Cincinnati music scene since his big hit in 2018 with Whoa. You can listen to his most recent single, Candy Heart, anywhere you get your music. He's a great vocalist, and in my books, he's probably got to be one of the best dressers in the area. Today on the show, we have our friend Leo Pastel. Can we get an applause from the studio audience here?
Hello.
How you doing today, Leo?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm happy to be here. It is a beautiful day outside. Can't complain. Before we get into anything music related, because in most of the interviews that you do, like we always talk about the like your family's musical background and whatnot, and that's all great. But
Yeah.
I am curious, what was life like growing up for you? Were you born and raised in Cincinnati? You've been here the whole time?
Yeah. Lived in the same house like my whole life. In Westchester actually.
Okay.
We were like literally the only black family like when I was born there, but like it's a little more diverse now.
Yeah.
I was like a church kid, so like that's literally my whole life was just going to church and like going to school. Like went to an Episcopal school. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah. So
is that?
definitely.
Did you go to an Episcopal church as well?
Oh no. It was like a just mixed like non-denominational
Okay.
church.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Episcopal Christian church camp as a kid.
Wow.
Actually, which
Nice.
basically all I remember is that like Episcopals are basically like the cool Christians. They're
Yeah.
kind of like we don't really care if you're gay. Like
God,
we're
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
So you were mainly, you said you were a church kid, so kind of
Yeah.
your life and your family's life revolved around that a lot.
Yeah. Pretty much like it was like a very Christian household. Like we listened to a lot of gospel music, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Well, that's actually a great segue because I kind of wanted to talk to you about that, and I think it's evident in a lot of your music and your vocal stylings that you grew up in the church and singing in
Yeah.
the church. So, talk a little bit about the influence of the church and how that has like affected your musical
Yeah.
style.
Like I always say that like the best musicians in the world like just come from the church. Like I don't know, I just believe that like if you look at like Old Soul, like just Anita Baker, like just all that, that's like the church. So it's really like just all the churches I went to, like vocals were like a big thing, like choirs and just like singing. So like I just always grew up around it. Like everyone in my family sings. Like I don't know, it's just kind of like my core, I guess.
Would your entire family be like in like the pit at the church, like doing music at the same time, or like?
Well, it was weird. Like my mom and dad were like both singers, and then kind of there's me and 3 other siblings. So like the 2 older siblings, they were like, these are like the superstars, obviously. Like they were like the first ones to come.
Yeah.
And me and my little brother were just like, we were the babies. Like we would just run around and like be bad in church. Yeah, but like I kind of grew into it as I got older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family play any instruments, or are you all like vocalists?
Well, my older brother, older sister, they both play guitar, and like me and my younger brother were more like internet savvy, like production type stuff. But
yeah, the younger generation.
Yeah.
You actually brought up something that I actually you're doing great as far as segueing in between questions here, because you said that like a lot of the best music comes from the church, and something that we see time and time again is that so many specifically black musical artists get their start in the church, whether it be instrumental, whether it be singing. So can you talk to me a little bit about the influence of church, not only just in black music, but black culture at large, because it's immensely important, right?
Yeah, I think like I don't know how deep you want to go, but like if you go to like if you go to like the civil rights era, it was kind of like the church was like the center of like black culture, and then that like out of that came a lot of music, like spirituals, that kind of stuff. It was
kind of like a safe space for black people at that time.
It was kind of where everyone congregated. And then I think nowadays I feel like people are kind of going away from it more. Like I think it's becoming like less, like the influence is still there, but people aren't really like Christians, and like people are leaving the church and stuff. But I think the influence is still there. Like if you look at Kanye, if you look at like what Justin Bieber is doing, I think there's a lot of influence still.
That is true. Justin Bieber has really been on his church like Christian vibe in the last couple of months. Do you still go to church?
Well, since COVID, I kind of stopped. So like,
yeah, you can't go.
Yeah,
true. But, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
damn, that's honestly something. I haven't gone to church in a long time.
I grew up Catholic. I went to church every Sunday until I was 18.
Wow.
Until I was out of the house. I went to Catholic middle school.
Wow.
High school.
Has COVID really like hurt the church a lot?
Yeah,
I mean,
my grandpa's a deacon, and like they had like, at first it was just like they were doing like Zoom masses and shit, and then they let people come in. It was like 25% capacity. You had to like social distance in the pews and shit.
Sad.
The first time I went to church was in a while I went for Easter, and like it was the same thing. Like every other pew, it was empty.
Yeah,
wow.
It was weird.
Yeah,
I bet Florida churches though are
don't
lit right now. Though. I bet they are lit. They got everybody in there.
Those Miami churches are going up.
Wow.
I feel like churches in Miami are not getting used as much as they should. There's a lot of sinning going on in Miami. Then you go to like Tampa to go to church.
Just like the middle of Florida somewhere.
Oh god,
that's funny.
And, dude, you're really doing a really great job of transitioning, because I also want to ask you brought up Kanye. And did your involvement with the church lead you to sing in the Sunday service choir in Dayton?
That's like,
okay. Well, I want to set the scene for everybody. Okay. I'm going to play a video over our video right now of you dapping up Kanye, which is like... Honestly, shout out Noah Canale. He showed me the video, and I was like,
"That's iconic.
This is so fucking fire." What the hell? So, how did that all come about? Tell me about it.
That was like the best day of my life. But anyways,
is it summer of 2019?
Yeah,
is that when he's doing?
Yeah, that was 2019.
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
It was at the Dave Chappelle, like his little series he does.
Oh God, and it's Dave Chappelle.
That's so crazy. Fire.
But so pretty much like my family's kind of like, we're in like the gospel scene in like Cincinnati, and like I guess Dayton is connected to it. But Kanye was coming to the Dave Chappelle event, and they like just were reaching out to like local churches, and like, we need like singers locally to like kind of like help with the choir. So my sister like reached out to this dude we knew, and then like he kind of just hooked all me and my siblings up, and then we got to sing. We like went to a few rehearsals with the choir, met a bunch of people, and then like we just sang on the day of, like in Dayton.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
So did you have like all your siblings there with you in the choir as well?
Yeah, me and my other 3 siblings, we were all singing.
That's amazing.
That's such like a beautiful moment, like for your family.
Seriously.
Like,
my parents went up to Dayton and like watched it. Like all my like best friends were there. That was like was crazy.
Was it empowering? I gotta imagine, like, because as somebody who has not consumed that much gospel music, I see the influence of gospel music in a lot of stuff that I like, but like, I know who Kirk Franklin is, and that's really all I know on the gospel side for real. So, like, I gotta imagine that was insanely empowering to be there with your siblings in this very like kind of holy event that's happening, especially with Kanye West too, who, like, gospel or not, is just an incredible musician too. That's amazing, man.
It was pretty wild, and like literally, like Kim was there, like North was there, like but like it was weird. Like no one was like paying attention. It was just we were just all like there for like the music. I don't know.
That's so.
They like literally just walked through the crowd to the middle, like no one was tripping. It was kind of Dave Chappelle walked in at one point, like it was, but it was like dope. It was a really cool moment.
That's beautiful, and like. In Dayton, I see how people may not have been tripping over like for some reason that like makes sense to me that like in Dayton people like wouldn't be going crazy over that, but like if he did Sunday service in like I don't know, a bigger like Chicago or New York or LA or something, like it's probably going to be a lot more intense, I would imagine, with security.
It was definitely a big crowd, but like I don't know, like if Kim Kardashian walks around somewhere, you expect everyone to be like trying to rush her.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, it was pretty like I don't know, like no one was acting psycho. Yeah, everyone was very respectful.
That's good. It would be a bummer to be the guy who fucks up Sunday service.
Yeah, bro. That's what I was just thinking. I'm just like it makes sense. It's just like it had like the energy and like the spirit of like what's going on. It's just like if you were that guy, like you would be scum of the earth to like fuck that shit
God's
up. God's
looking down like, damn, man. Why'd you have to do that, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you have any like good Kanye interaction or observation stories from that? Did you see him like do anything funny, or was he?
He was really quiet most of the time. Well, one thing I don't know if this is funny, but like he kind of really like will like stand back the whole rehearsal, and then like he'll just come whisper in. Like Ray Romulus was like the keyboardist. He'll just like say da 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 da, and then they'll just like change a bunch of things, and then like. Yeah, but like he's very hands off, kind of lets
he's just sitting back observing, like this,
literally,
just watching. Everybody.
Literally, like the whole rehearsal.
The keyboard, like, dude, nah, bro, do this.
Oh yeah, but like some of the samples he was playing in the rehearsal, it was like, man. What is like? He was playing some crazy shit that we never even performed. Like we didn't even rehearse to it, but like he was just like messing around at one point, and it's like, okay, this is like Kanye West. Like you forget sometimes, but like
that's so. I'm glad you say that, because I think, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show before. Like a lot of times we forget about, and I do this like with Kanye and even with people like Travis Scott. Like there's so much extra stuff that goes into what we know them as. Yeah. But then when you like get back to the music, like Kanye just like playing samples while you all are rehearsing, and you're like, oh, that's right. This dude's actually a musical genius. Like, fuck all the MAGA stuff. Fuck him going crazy on Twitter. Like, dude is still one of the greatest artists of our generation. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I'd love to hear that. I love to hear that. Moving on into some of your music, will you talk to me a little bit about the Hardcore Kids? Because I think that entire EP is dope, dude. It's so groovy. It's lighthearted. It's hard to not smile listening to it. How did you get involved with all of those guys? Yeah,
so that was like a super organic thing. So my friend Munch, he's in the group. Mm-hmm. I kind of just like went up to Detroit. I think that was 2019 also. I kind of just went up to Detroit one weekend and was like, "Hey, Munch, like I'm trying to come to Detroit," and he's just like, "Yeah, crash with me." So crashed with him, and then Charlie, who was like, he's like also in Hardcore Kids. Yeah, he was touring through Detroit, so Munch like invited him over, and then Charlie came with like Stoop and Austin, and then our manager Benji, and then Jacob. He also just lives in Detroit, and I think he just like called Munch, and Munch was like, "Yeah, pull up, like we ganging up here." So we kind of were just like hanging out for a while, and then like at one point, I think Charlie was like we're all musicians, like let's just make something. So we just like started just making music. And then it was like, oh yeah, this is kind of crazy. And then like I can't remember who said it, but we were like, let's just be a band. And then we were like, all right, bet. So
that's so cool, because you can tell listening to the EP that there's like some genuine chemistry. Like on I Don't Want to Talk, like all these kind of background vocals where like it's kind of like people talking and then you go back into the music and it's people talking. Like it feels organic listening to it. So it was really, that's so funny. Like you just get 6 musicians in a room and it's like, okay, I guess we're gonna make some music now. Like,
literally.
So
that's some Midwest shit.
Did you do that like entire EP when you were up there that weekend? Or
nah, we did. I think we did the first, or not the first on the EP, but our first 2 tracks that we put out. Electro Groove. Actually, no, Electro Groove didn't come out till the EP. But pretty much we did 2 songs then. Yeah, and then we had like another session like that winter.
Okay.
And then
well, that was kind of my question. Were you going up to Detroit or were you sending like files back to back?
So I actually did go up to Detroit. Like I was going up like every other month for a while, and then there was one, I think like during COVID they had a session, and like I got sick just randomly like that week, so I was like, y'all, I don't know if I can make it. So I just sent in vocals for I can't remember what song it was.
I have the EP pulled up if you need a reminder here.
Oh yeah, it was Are You Coming Over?
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote that in the studio with Mawasi actually.
Shout out Mawasi as well. No, yeah, I think this EP, dude, I remember you posting the video for Are You Coming Over, and I listened to it and then went back and listened to the EP and was just kind of blown away. Like I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but like I said, it's a groovy project. Like, and I
appreciate it.
I feel like I don't hear a lot of, and maybe I'm not looking for it, maybe it's me, but I feel like I don't hear a lot of kind of like funky, kind of lighthearted stuff coming out right now. Is there a lot of that stuff out there? Am I just missing stuff?
To be honest, there is. Like there's a lot of people doing, like, I don't know, Devin Morrison is someone I always like reference, and then like Joyce Rice. There's a lot of people doing like the kind of looking back 90s style like funky stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you guys come up with the name?
Hard Crack is I think it was Austin. We have like, there's like a snippet in the album somewhere where someone's like, it's a hard fucking car, like it's a hard car. I don't even remember, but like it was I think it was like a play off of like Carhartt, because like that's kind of that's like a Detroit brand.
Yeah.
And then
shit,
gotta have the Carhartt.
Yeah.
I didn't know
it's cold up there, bro.
I didn't know there was a Detroit brand.
Everybody in Detroit has like a Carhartt, like everyone. And then it's also like Motor City, so like it's kind of like the car thing. I don't know. It was like a cool way to say it.
Yeah. Yo, bro, you gotta have a Carhartt in Detroit, bro.
Oh,
it's cold. It's so cold in the D.
So cold. Oh my
How
God.
the fuck we supposed to keep the heat?
peace.
God damn, I have not. Wow, that has not entered my brain in a long time.
I love that song.
As a side note, I saw the other day for the first time like a non-black or brown Carhartt. This dude that I work with, Austin, was wearing like a kind of like fuchsia colored Carhartt. And I think it's like a woman's jacket, which is like, whatever. But I was like, where the fuck did you get a fuchsia Carhartt at, bro?
You never seen the light pink Carhartts that the girls be wearing? I went to Walton Verona, bro. The girls were wearing the pink Carhartt jackets.
I've been looking for a pink Carhartt for like 2 years, and I can't find it anywhere. So if anybody finds one, let me know.
They were wearing them, bro. It's like a light pink.
Bro, I gotta.
And girls wear like the light pink, like cowboy boots with it.
The light pink.
Hey,
yeah, come on in.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Thank you, man.
Benjamin Hafer with the coffee delivery. Thank you.
I don't know where to. Okay, I'll take that one. Gracias.
Let's see, which one is this?
Actually,
you, Ben. I appreciate it.
Actually,
This might be yours, bro.
this okay. I think I got a
Get a
small
bigger one?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Okay.
that one had my name on it, so I was like, me.
I don't know. This probably looks like mine. All right.
Wait,
we're gonna find out.
what did you get?
Whose?
What did you get?
I think I just got an iced coffee with oat milk, if I remember.
This one looks.
This
like
definitely has oat milk in it. I can see the
Okay.
little things floating around in here. Our first ever Ben Hafer appearance on the podcast, and he delivers us
Is that
coffee.
yours?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
I got an iced coffee with oat milk also, but I added vanilla.
I don't taste
What does
any
that taste
vanilla.
like? That's not yours. That looks like it's not mine.
I think there's vanilla in that.
Okay.
We're gonna switch straws.
Yeah, sure. We're both. If one of us has COVID,
Oh yeah, that's my coffee. That's my coffee right there. Okay, tight. Damn,
we're back,
dude. Shout out. That's really funny. I didn't know. I kind of forgot that you had ordered coffee before this.
I forgot to, and then I looked down like, oh, it's here.
I low key thought for everybody who's if anybody who's listening on audio, Ben Hafer just walked in the room and gave us our coffee. That is so fucking funny.
Yep. He's the podcast servant.
Yeah, he's the overseer of this room. Well, anywho. Well, we were talking about cards and pink Carhartts and whatnot. We'll take a break from the music questions. Let's talk a little bit about clothing, because as I said in the intro, I feel like you're a very well-dressed person. What makes you want to like get up and be fresh? Because we were talking a little bit before the episode. You know, some people, in like no diss to anybody, but like some people just don't really care like what they put on before they leave. But then some people, like, you know, it's imperative. Like you could not leave the house without like a good fit on. You know what I mean? Like, where does that come from for you?
I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like I know when it started, it was like eighth grade. Low-key, I'm like realizing right now, it's probably because I was like getting made fun of like in middle school. Oh, damn. And then like as soon as like after 7th grade year, I was like, I'm about to drip on these. Like I'm about to fly when I come to school. So I like put together a nice little outfit, and then like literally it like worked. Like people were like treating me like I was cool and stuff, and I was like, so ever since then, I guess I've just been dressing up.
Wow. Yeah. That's kind of fire though. Like.
I literally that's the first time I thought of that.
Said, I'm about to come back fresh. I'm about to come back. Literally. That's dope. Well, I mean, the reason why I always like I like talking to people who dress nice, because it is an extension of you. It is another way to express yourself. You know, you have music in which you express yourself in, but also you have clothes that you express yourself in, and it's just, you know, it's a way to almost tell somebody about yourself before they even talk to you. You know what I mean?
And to like just connect with other people.
Yeah, totally.
You know? Like
totally.
If I notice what you're wearing, like, and I don't know who you are.
Oh yeah, like I said,
it's like, oh, I'm gonna come fuck with you. Like, like we're probably on the same shit.
Yeah,
you know.
I was thinking about this yesterday. I feel like the friendships that I have, I don't know why, but it's just like something I noticed. Like the ones I've kept longest, like we either connect on fashion or we connect on music. Like those are the people who I'm like that when I look around, like those people I'm rocking with like super long.
Those are two very like passion filled things. You know what I mean? So anybody who is like committed to those ideas, you know, I feel like you get a sense of who they are as a person. That's kind of funny. Excuse me. Do you have any like favorite particular brands? I mean, I know that you're very much a vintage clothes shopper and wearer of sorts. Do you have any like brands that you really are attracted to, or is it just whatever looks good?
I'm mostly just whatever looks good. I think for pants, I like just love Levi's. Yeah. Like these are actually like some 70s Levi's like work pants or something. Like
they look, are they like kind of heavy duty, or
well they're pretty like,
because they look kind of like slacks.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're slacks.
Pants. Okay.
Yeah, but they're called action slacks. They're like for like workers who are like moving around. I don't know.
Action slacks.
Yeah, but like I literally Suicide Rascal is who put me onto these. Like he's
shout out Rascal, another great dresser, by the way. Another great dresser.
Yeah, I can't even lie. He influences a lot of like what I'm looking for in the vintage vintage clothing. But
that man's got some crazy pants, bro. I tell you, like sometimes I see outfits that he posts. Which Rascal, if you're listening, shout out to you. Yeah. But sometimes I see outfits that he posts, and I'm like, damn, I wish I could fit in that fucking jacket. Like I know he can fit in it because he's like a skinny, like a thin dude. I'm just kind of like bigger, and like I'm just like, damn, I wish I could wear those bell bottoms. That's fire. All right, let's take it back to music here. We had to get on the coffee really derailed us a little bit. So other than your work with Hardcore Kids that came out this year, you've only dropped one song, Candy Heart with Muwausi.
Yeah.
However she wants us to pronounce it. But one of my sources told me that you have a huge vault of songs. Is there any reason in particular that you haven't been dropping music? Are you just very meticulous? Like, what's your process?
It's literally a combination of things. Like, I'm super perfectionist. Like, I don't like to drop something unless it like sounds like exactly how I want it to sound. And on top of that, like, I do now, but like I didn't have like a go-to engineer for like a really long time. So like I just like a lot of my stuff was just unmixed. And then I don't know, just like mental health stuff. Like sometimes you just start something and you don't like, I just get tired of stuff really easy. So like I'll just work on something and then like put it away. Like I have so many like half songs that are like like cold, like, and I just need to go back and sit down and finish them. But yeah. I feel like I'm like right now though I'm like wrapping up a lot of things. So
that's good.
Okay. That's really good to hear. Is that I mean, like, are you wanting to drop this year?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm like I'm gonna just announce it. I'm like working on an EP right now that I'm dropping in the summer. So,
and
it's like it's with a guy who's like producing it and engineering it. So like I know it'll like front to back like get finished.
It's all
it's all in one. So
that's
like
fucking
it's
awesome.
definitely gonna come out.
Damn. What kind of sounds are you gonna be working with?
It's actually it's like a turn, but it's kind of like indie pop, kind of like like kind of the Spotify like stuff, but it's like my own take on it. Like it's still soulful. It still has like my energy in it.
Trying to get playlisted.
I mean, it's just what happened, but hopefully we'll see.
I mean, I'm just playing.
But that music's hella fun though.
Yeah,
like even though
I feel like indie pop is kind of having a moment in the last like year or so.
Oh, definitely,
like,
definitely.
I don't know. I think it's being more like accepted by mainstream, and even like the people that are like on top of like the hip hop shit. It's not even hip hop anymore. It's pop music, bro. Like 24K Golden is a pop artist, bro.
Totally,
but it has like a hip hop feel. He has the hip hop look.
Yep.
You know, but it's pop.
I never thought about that. That's,
you know what I mean? Like,
and
he's huge, and like, who else? Like
even somebody,
Andy or like the people like. Not to say that you make music like that.
Lil TJ's kind of pop. Is on the kind of
Lil
pop
Mosey,
side
like those types of artists. Like those are.
Yeah.
It's not even hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
It's like pop music. And
I do find that to be kind of an interesting like cross point that we're at in hip hop is because the indie pop and also kind of like the anti-pop stuff too is starting to make all this rumbling, and it's only gonna make sense that it bleeds over into hip hop since so many barriers are being broken down.
And then just in the underground,
like,
obviously, like hyperpop is the talk of everything right now.
Right.
Like that is like is the cutting edge of what pop music's gonna sound for the next 5 years. And like. You know, Overcast, shout out to Overcast. All those guys have been putting on a lot of like the indie pop artists and the hyper pop artists. Like,
definitely,
I don't know. Like, if you're going for that in an EP, like, seems like it's perfect timing. And like, if you market yourself in the right way, you never know what can happen.
True.
Well, and you've already had some success with streaming as well. I mean. All the like the Anthony Fantano bump for Whoa, I'm sure it was very nice. But you know what's funny?
Bro,
is like,
he kind of ripped it.
He did, bro. I went back and watched the video because like I just somehow found out that like he had like reviewed it or whatever, and I went back and listened to it, and he's basically he's like, yeah, this shit's okay. If you like slow stuff, you can listen to it. And I was
he
like,
did not mince words on it.
I was like, damn, this kind of a
Fantano has shown love to like you and like Suicide Rascal and
did he really?
Couple other people.
That's
like
in Free at one point.
I actually could see how he would like Suicide Rascal because Rascal makes off kilter shit. He takes like a really weird production and puts his like kind of funny delivery. I don't want to say funny. That's not the right word, but his unique delivery on it, and I could see
it is funny, honestly. Like
sometimes it is funny. I mean,
factor in it.
Bro, what's the one name of the tape? I fucked 2 bitches for
God,
$60 in parentheses. They paid me. Like that's pretty fucking funny, man. Like, but no. So I mean, you've had success with streaming. So are you looking to like? Do you have high expectations for the reception of the EP that you want to drop too?
I kind of
are you just gonna put it out there and just put your hands up?
I kind of just put my stuff out. Like I really like I used to promote it a lot heavier, which I haven't been doing lately. I don't know. I think it's because I'm like focusing on like the songwriting game now.
Yeah.
But yeah. For this EP though, I'm like I feel like I wanted to do something. So like I'm definitely gonna send it around to blogs and like people. But like I don't like really trip about what the numbers do.
Fair.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Are you trying to get into like your songwriting bag and like like is that like a goal of yours to like like write for somebody big or help on like a big project?
I think my I really want to like break an artist. Like I want to just like lock in with somebody who's like who I believe in and just kind of like do like a project and just see what happens. But yeah, I'm like obviously I want placements.
That'd be fire, bro. Like there's so many people that are involved in the music industry that were once like, you know, really like promising artists of their own that didn't necessarily want that, and they wanted to just help other artists and like write songs for them, basically be an A&R for them and like help them with their shit and like break artists. Like I've seen like managers that like are still like involved hands on like with the music because they were once artists themselves, still artists themselves.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. I want to keep on the songwriting subject here because that's not something we see a lot. Or at least that's not something that is talked about a lot in kind of the hip hop and R&B. It's a little bit more, but in the hip hop space, because in country music, like there are people who move to Nashville just to be songwriters.
Yeah.
They just lock in with a, for lack of a better term, with like a Taylor Swift kind of character who is going to be this very easily marketable, great voice, you know, kind of artist. But then there's people who are in the studio literally writing the songs for her, and that's no diss against Taylor Swift. People have been writing songs for other people for fucking decades, okay? But it's something that I think we don't see a lot nowadays in this kind of new internet age of music. So that is something that you want to do though, is just you know, be the guy in the studio just writing and trying to like kind of help edge these artists along in their songs.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's a misconception, like y'all probably know how it works in the industry, but a lot of people think like the songwriters are like all ghostwriters and like they're secretly just writing all the lyrics.
Yeah.
But it's like a very collaborative process. Yeah. Like you're working with artists and like just helping them say what they want to say. So that's how I see it.
I have a question. So like I personally don't really know all that much about like the songwriting space. I genuinely know what it is and how it works.
Yeah.
For like our listeners that are listening and maybe other artists that are listening or producers or whatever, like what are like actual like tactical steps you can take to become a songwriter onto, you know, a bigger project or with a bigger artist album, or just maybe like a local artist. Like that's probably easier obviously, but like you always hear about like songwriting camps. You hear about like these different like spaces that get thrown around what you can like submerge yourself into, like maybe make connections, but like I don't know if you've had any success with it, but like what in your opinion, like what you've seen, like what's like some actual steps you can take to like become a songwriter? Yeah.
So like I'm still looking for my first like major placement. I have demos to people, but like we just don't know what's gonna come out. But so like I did a songwriting camp like 2 years ago with like Def Jam. I don't think camps are really. I don't think it's like what everyone expects it to be. It's kind of just like a like the labels just want to bring a bunch of people in, but like I think when you force it like that, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to do it is just like make connects, like put out. I think the best way is to put out your own music and then like let people find you that way, or like put out your stuff and like send it around. And then like when people find you as an artist, be like, yeah, I'm an artist, but I also like I write too. Like that's what I do. So
yeah,
I think that's a good way to do it.
I think like at least for me, like the first like songwriter that comes to my attention, just from my personal music taste and just what I'd be listening to. There's this artist named Johnny Yukon. I don't know if y'all are hip to him or not, but like he makes really fire music of his own. It's like more poppy, hip hop type of shit. And he produces a lot of his own shit. He kind of reminds me of like Pango, of like what he like type of music that he makes and like a level that Pango could get to. But he songwrites a lot for Internet Money's artists, and he wrote on the Lemonade song, like the hit with like Don Toliver and Gunna.
Yeah.
And he is like, he's just like chilling. Like he hasn't released much.
Yeah.
But like I'm personally waiting for him to release something, and like Soul Serum, like I would love to shoot a video with him, but like it seems like he is just like big chilling and just writing these like big hits. It's just like it's like he's such like a low key artist. It's like how it's hard for me to like think like how did he make that connection with like internet money, and he's writing these big hits, but he's just like chilling. It's kind of like Corbett in a way as a producer. It's like it's kind of bizarre how he made these connections with like Hit Boy and everything, but he's just chilling in Florence, Kentucky with his like with his 3 kids and his family, and he's on a song with like Don Toliver. It kind of just like blows my mind, but like
I think making connections with like the people in your city who you know are like doing that kind of stuff. Like really most of my like industry looks are like from like Corbett or like from like other people that I know who are like kind of more established in the industry. So
shout out to Corbett, man. I mean, we were talking a little bit before the podcast. It still like blows my mind when you were like, yeah, there's this dude who's a Grammy nominated, now Grammy winning producer.
Yeah.
And he's from Florence. I was like, fucking Florence. Like, what do you mean, Florence?
Yeah, bro, I told
Florence. What do you mean?
And I was low key flattered because he had a lot to say about like Soul Serum and like what we're doing, and like I didn't know he was paying attention as much as like he had so much to say about everything that we're doing. He like wants to like work on like projects and shit in the future. So shout out to Corbett.
Soul Serum Podcast has had a Grammy Award winner on the show.
Yeah,
so
fire.
Price went up. Price went up.
No cap.
Hey.
I have one last question as far as like music. So like when Soul Serum first got onto the scene, obviously like my first initial like inclination was to get involved like in Cincinnati and like who's the fire artist like on SoundCloud, and like I was looking at the Mockbee and like all these different artists, and I was just like following all of you guys like like that initial scene like in like 2018. I think it was like you, Josiah, Joey Razook,
Griffin,
Major. Griffin was like a little later, but like Major,
Rascal.
Suicide Rascal. I thought I said him. Suicide Rascal. There's Internet Boy. Like there's Perez.
Shout out Internet Boy.
Like that initial Xander Too Wavy. I guess my question is like, with Josiah like really taking off, like what was like that like culture kind of like, and like from you kind of saw that happen like beforehand. Like he's the biggest artist to come out of like the Mockbee scene, like easily.
He's the biggest.
Yeah, he's the biggest. He's still growing. Like I guess like what was like that like being like so early on that, and like seeing him kind of taking off and grow from like Mockbee shows to perform. I remember I saw him at the Hive Mind Wise Word show, and then like the next summer he was at Summer Smash in Chicago, and I saw him there with like
there's another one this weekend too that he's playing.
Really? Yeah, like I guess my question is just like what was like the culture and like the energy like, and like the creative like just like energy between all of you guys, and like just seeing him like really grow.
So that was like the golden era for me. But I think if you knew Josiah, I think everyone knew he was gonna pop. Like there was no doubt. Like absolutely no doubt. And like it was like a group called Apollo 18. It was like me, Josiah, Internet Boy, Grandace, Deogo, and this dude Conj.
Shout out Grandace too.
Shout out Grandace. That's my boy.
We need to get him on the pod.
Sure.
But like we were kind of all just like doing our thing. Like literally every weekend we were just linking up at Luna's house and like just making music, and like that's all we did. Also like we had 2 videographers, Grant and Alex, who are now at Hive Mind. But so like it was just like it was like a very, none of us were really popping when we made the group. Like we were all just like super underground. And then like the longer we worked, like everyone just started getting their own things going. And once Josiah popped, it was just like validation. It was like, okay, like we're actually doing something. Like you can actually make it out of Cincinnati. Like it was just like, it was crazy to see that happen. But yeah, Josiah's cool. Like, still the homie. Like I hit him up every once in a while. So yeah, I don't know. It's just super encouraging to watch him do what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it was encouraging for me from the outside perspective, because like we just started like Soul Serum, and like we had hopes and dreams of like pushing this shit to like a significant level, and just like seeing him as an artist like really pop like right in front of our eyes was super motivating. And just I don't know, just
Y'all got
it made
one
that
now.
Moppy scene like feel a little more special.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, y'all broke an artist now. That's like the
Yeah.
biggest thing you can do in my book.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It feels the same way in our own way with Jack,
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing his thing.
Does he have a Lyrical Lemonade video too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Crisis.
What I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought.
That video was that's honestly one of my favorite
love that video.
Lyrical Lemonade
Yeah.
videos. Like
Yeah.
that was so like left field for Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like at least.
The last question that I have is, which actually is very similar. You all have been doing great jobs at segueing between questions today. In one interview, I think it's the Donuts and Alcohol interview, you talk about how you're very supportive of the Cincinnati music scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your set is early in the night, you're going to stay for the rest of the
Have to.
concert to see everybody else, which, by the way, I just respect the fuck out of
Yeah.
because a lot of people be like, all right, my set's over.
Too cool.
Deuces, like
Yeah.
fuck that. That's like, if you're not going to support the other people, how are other people going to support you? Yada, yada,
Yeah.
whatever. But, you're tapped in with so many people and so many different artists in Cincinnati, so many different types of artists in
Yeah,
Cincinnati
for
too. What would you say to somebody who says that Cincinnati is like a talent desert?
Man.
Who says that?
I don't know,
can't-
but if somebody were to say it,
I've
though,
never
I'm
heard
just saying.
talent desert, but I've like people say that like there's not like a scene or like there's nothing to do or like there's I don't know. Like you hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just say go to like Mecca on a Thursday. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like just go to look up I don't know, Wise Words like Instagram page. Like just find some local shows.
Yeah.
Like there's always something going on and there's a lot of talent in the city.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's like really like I think it's like there's like a I don't know what the word is for it, but it's like the opposite of a desert. There's like a hot spot in Cincinnati, Ohio of like artists and talent.
Yeah. I think it's well, the only reason why I made this term talent desert for Cincinnati
Yeah.
because to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there's a little bit of like a disconnect sometimes where like there is a lot of talent, but there's not a lot of like hoopla about
Yeah.
it. Like you
Yeah.
don't know.
It's just
like,
fans.
Yeah.
Like there's not talk.
Right.
A lot
Yeah.
of talk besides the scene talking
Right,
about each other.
exactly.
Like people
It's-
outside the scene.
I think it seems like that because when somebody makes it, they like leave. They go to LA or New York,
Atlanta,
Like
Yeah.
like I don't know if y'all know like Pink Sifu, but like he's literally from Forest Park. He was just on the Avalanche's record, and then he was just on the Alchemist record that had like Earl Sweatshirt and like all the kind of underground rap people. And, like Sifu was like really popping in the scene. We have like Sudan Archives. She signed to Stone's Throw. She's a huge artist. Like Aaron Ray. Like we have a lot of like popping like artists really,
Yeah.
but they all leave.
Yeah, facts.
True.
I mean,
I think that is right. I mean, I think we talked about that on the episode with Corbett too.
Yeah.
About like
Yeah.
like how can we make Cincinnati a point of commerce rather than
Yeah.
going to Atlanta
I think
and making that,
yeah,
you know?
like I think I don't fault the artists for like wanting to leave
Yeah, oh,
because
yeah.
like
No,
when
of
you
course not.
because when you get to like a different like a higher level like there's so many different things that are pulling you to different cities and
Yeah.
like there's resources elsewhere that aren't here like
Yeah.
like I don't fault them but I feel like it's like communities like and platforms like the Soul Serums of the world like Hive Mind like Wise Words like
yeah.
those are the platforms that are going to bring things all together in one
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And as long as like those platforms are elevating and cultivating and curating and continuing to bring these artists and the energy like still around and like growing, I think that's what's going to keep pushing the envelope and making this like
Definitely.
a city that people want to come
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Like
Yeah.
Mark Twain said it, bro. Like Cincinnati is 10 years behind or some shit like
Yeah.
than other cities, which is
Forgot about that.
which is fine. It's just like I don't know, like
Yeah.
people just need to come together and just be patient.
Yeah.
And,
And
yeah.
Don't
And
be afraid to like take risks and like do more things. Like people just like are really comfortable like doing the same shit all the time. Like
True.
I don't know.
I want to clarify. I understand the need to leave because I think there is a ceiling right now.
Yeah.
But I think like like people in our generation are trying to like build like a scene here or like a pipeline from here to like the industry. So I think in the future it'll be like easier.
Because like imagine when we get older, like our like 30s and 40s, and like we've grown to this level to where like, okay, we have the funding, we have the resources, we have the spaces, the warehouses, the venues, like we're running shit now. Like then with everything that we want to do, we can put on that next generation to make it way easier for them. Put them in positions to win that we didn't have when we were younger. Isn't that what it should be about? What it's about? Like it should be about that.
Yeah.
But.
Right.
True.
And bonus question on this: give us a couple of your favorite local acts. I'm not saying this doesn't have to be an end all be all list. This doesn't have to be just your like right 5 now, like, favorites. Give us a couple of great.
Yeah, who you think's making some waves right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna say my first one is Tony. Like
y'all Tony's
know Tony.
fire.
Right. He's like my favorite producer in the city. No shade to nobody, but just like I don't know, just like he hits my musical ear in a different way.
Yeah.
And then like he's just a crazy ass rapper. So yeah, Tony for sure. Mwasi, she's like my other half. Like we're songwriting duo now, and like just everything she does.
I think your all's styles also complement each other very well. Like vocally, like sonically speaking, they complement each other very well.
I don't know how I found her, but like she's the only other artist that I found who's like literally on my same exact like wavelength, like anywhere. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really she's awesome. Rascal, I always love what he's doing.
Yeah.
All the internet pop boys like Griff, Logan, I'm like super excited to see what they do. That's
Griff. I saw him post something the other day. It looks like he's back.
Yeah,
he's been quiet for a while.
Yeah, I do. I talk to Griff like all the time. Bro. I like Griff like a lot. Like I think he's got like one of the better voices, and like I just think. It's way easier for me to say because I'm not an artist and
you're not making the music.
I'm not making the music. I'm not putting my face on a camera and trying to sell myself to people to listen to my shit. But like, goddamn, like if he just put his shit out and like fucking just nut it up and just be like, bro, like I'm Griffin Drew, like I'm fucking fire. Like I tell him all the time, bro. I text him like at least once a week. I'm like, bro, you could pop like for real. Like if you
we be telling like
I do, bro.
Like, I think everyone knows except him. Like
I know
he knows deep down, but like he just like he fights himself,
bro.
But like Griff is,
I get it.
He's this year though. Like Griff is popping. Like it's on the floor this
I mean,
year.
like I have some things in position and works for him to like help him.
Yeah,
I just need him to step up to the plate, you know, and swing type shit, you know. But it's this music shit is like
it's not easy.
Like 90% of it is mental, bro. Just like
totally.
Just like really like being confident in yourself and like really like. Just like being at peace with yourself to just like no matter what happens, like when you release your shit, like it is what it is. But
facts.
Bottom line, Griff is fire.
Yeah.
Like, he is.
True.
Well, is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you would like to talk about? Anything, anybody, any shout outs or anything that you want to give? What's up?
Shout out Hardcore Kids. Listen to our EP.
Yep.
I guess for y'all, like, I'm curious, what makes you guys like stay in Cincinnati and like want to build here, or I guess Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati?
Just cause like, I think just for me personally, like the reason why I got into this was to build something here. Like we've thought about moving to like Atlanta and to somewhere else and like try to build for our own, which could still happen, but I don't know. Ever since like we've kind of grown a lot, and we've kind of just like kept doing it here. It's just like why should we leave? Like we haven't felt any reason to leave yet. Like we can like travel and then come back, type shit, and keep building here. But like
I honestly think the power of the internet is like a huge play in that. True. Because like you said, we can go travel to LA, go travel to New York to work and stay out there for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and work with people. Yeah. But we have, since we have this computer and this internet, like we can still do it all here and then send it out to people. But it's different for me because I'm from Louisville originally. I moved up here to go to college and just somehow have stumbled into buying purple turf, you know. Somehow stumbled into this and it's just, I mean, like I think it would be for me personally, it would be silly for me to like leave and do something else right now.
I just think it's like it's like a personal type of like quest for me to like build something here that's like never been done before, and then also just like for this area, because like I know there's kids like me that were like in high school that love this fucking music shit, and just big fans of it. Like I want people to be excited about artists from our area. Like I want people to be excited about like events and just like things that are going on in our area, and not look to like different states and look to the outside. Like I was going to Florida for music festivals. I was going to like Chicago, like Columbus for like Breakaway, and just like I had to go elsewhere to like go see my favorite artists. Like I want the kids that are in high school and college, whatever. Like I want people to be excited to go to the Soul Serum show with 2 or 3 like popping like Cincinnati artists, and then like some other artists that we just bring in to hear. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It excites me that like there's a lot of opportunities here because there's not as much going on as in bigger cities. You know what I mean?
We're creating the opportunities.
Yeah, like,
we have to create them.
I think it's I think Jack Harlow like is the one like really inspired me too. It's like it's a great opportunity to be like, you know, to actually represent where you're from.
Yeah. I will say it is wildly inspiring and really cool to see like a dude that I like went to high school with and like
you went to high school with
yeah,
Jack? Wow.
I went to middle and high school with him. I've like slept in the same basement as him before, like, because like
the amount of times you said that on this podcast.
It's just funny. Well, I mean, like, it's just like kind of funny. That's why I say it. It's really goofy, but you know, it's just it does make you feel really proud to see somebody that you know from your city on this stage and being like, okay, it is possible. Yeah. I can do this. It
hits different.
Not that I'm gonna have a fucking #1 hit on Billboard or anything. I mean, hey, don't make me bring the quarantine files out. No.
I don't think it really hits the same when like you're from like a smaller city and then you go to LA and then like the label and like the team just kind of manufactures you and then you become a pop star. Like it don't hit the same. Like
and that's the other thing about Jack is that he loves to let people know where he's from, and he's over and over again, like shooting his videos in Louisville and shouting out random neighborhoods and streets in Louisville. So the people from Louisville feel that, and it hits way harder. Like all of his like deep introspective songs on all of his like River Road, Baxter Avenue, Eastern Parkway, all that stuff are roads and streets that I've driven up and down 1,000 times in my life. Like, so it hits on such a different chord to hear that. So I've like, for us to try and engineer that feeling for people in this area is just like really special.
Like,
you know?
like dream situation would be to like work with like some of the like my personal favorite artists and like poppin' artists and like put them in like shoot videos with them in Cincinnati and like shoot scenes where like people around here like know like where those places are at or like throw shows at places where people have been. Like I don't know, just make people feel like that this music world or just like your like the shit in general is not like as far fetched as you might think it is. You know? And like
true
facts. And I think what you said about like you can do it here because of the internet is like so true. I think like if you look at like Hive Mind or like
bro. I was gonna say look at Hive Mind, bro. Like like I was literally just thinking about that last night. Like they're about to hit like 100K subs on YouTube, and like I literally remember when they were celebrating hitting 1K. Like like and just to see how far they've come and just like really like a year and a half. Like it's been crazy. Like,
it's so funny. I was watching when I'm doing, you know, when I do research for these, I like try to find all videos and interviews and everything. And their interview with you is like Riley has like orange hair, no mustache. Graydon has short hair. He's wearing like basketball shorts or something. Bro, you look completely different. Yeah, you have a lot of hair. I had a giant
yellow mat.
It was just like such a funny thing because I had somewhat recently just like saw like an Instagram post of Riley and Graydon, and then I watched the video of you all, and I'm like, damn, they have actually come a long way in these past 3 years.
They've evolved so much, bro. It's very like they're very inspiring to me because they're super creative and just like a unique like
very unique.
like platform to like this space. Like no one is doing what they're doing, which is like really cool.
Especially with like all the illustrations and animations. Like shout out to them. They
crazy.
They carved out their niche and they do a good job of it for sure.
And I think they're doing the same thing y'all are doing now, which is like you figure it out early and you're just consistent with like the same like the same, not the same thing, but like the same vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's cohesive.
That's the fucking key, man, honestly, is being consistent. If anything, so like this is episode 30 of the podcast. The only weeks that we've missed were a 4-week stretch where we purposefully took that off to kind of revamp the space and stuff. But like we've been doing this back to back to back to back to back. And now things are starting to roll into the email and people are starting to tap in and listen. So like that just proves to me, because like part of me thinks like I know that we get like a good deal of listeners and like our numbers are for what we're doing are good, but it could be bigger. It could be a lot bigger. But if people are recognizing it when we're doing it this early on because of our consistency, if we stay on this fucking path, and like the fucking sky's the limit, you know.
We're gonna figure it out.
It's the same thing with music. Same thing with releasing music too. You know.
And that's what goes back to my point, bro. It's like the platforms like Hive Mind and Soul Serum, like they're the ones that are gonna be like bringing on artists like you and people that like are tapped into the culture in our area. That's what's gonna make this scene like really grow. It has grown, bro. Like I feel like it has. Like it's evolved so much since
I do have a question
2017,
for you all. Yeah, what have you all seen from 2017 until now? Like, what's the difference in the music scene in Cincinnati and now in the music scene in Cincinnati?
We didn't have anything going, and now we have like 2 like super solidified acts. Like I'd say Josiah and Jack K's. It's like it's crazy to watch people who are literally just at the Mockbee like every weekend.
Yeah, bro.
Like just be like huge artists.
Right.
Now.
It gives me like chills, kind of. Just like because I just remember whenever you just said that, I just like pictured like Josiah like and his look and feel like on that stage like early, Jack K's early, and then like
now
like seeing their image and their style and the music that they're creating now. Just like
it's crazy.
Just like that, it just happens so quick, bro. Like it can happen like with the internet and just like people like us and making connections. It can happen like that, bro. Like overnight, it almost seems like. But
so you'd say it feels more hopeful now, maybe, than it did before.
Happen,
is that the right word?
I think when that happened though, I think kind of the scene is less active, low key, because I think people are more like doing like industry stuff and like kind of stuff out of the city. But I don't know. It's like a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a great note to end it on right there. And with all of that being said, I want to remind everybody, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You already know the fucking vibes. Subscribe to us on YouTube, main page, TV page. Join the Patreon, Discord, follow us on TikTok, yada yada whoop whoop. Stream all of Leo Pastel's music. You're at 1980 wavy on everything, right? That's your
Instagram,
that's your vibe.
That's all y'all need to find.
That's all you need to find. And with all of that being said, I, as always, am your host, Clay Bonine.
I'm your co-host, Tanner Mavis.
I'm Leo Pastel.
Yee! Thank you, Leo. Appreciate it, bro. We'll see everybody next week. Deuces.